We go back to Mr. Nolan. You have advocated cutting the size of the federal government by 50%. So specifically, which programs do you cut out? Which programs do you keep?
Good question. As I said earlier, we need to have a plan in place and start implementing it immediately to reduce and eventually privatize, voluntarize our entitlement programs. Something like 40%, 41% of our federal spending is on entitlement programs, Social Security, Medicare, and a few other minor ones. We need to cut military spending. We need a strong defense for the United States of America, but we do not need to be involved in unconstitutional, undeclared wars around the world. We got into Iraq because we were fed faulty data, or our president chose to believe faulty data. There were no weapons of mass destruction. And as far as Afghanistan, we were funding the Taliban before the 9/11 attacks. We need to adopt the Jeffersonian policy of honest friendship and commerce with all, entangling alliances with none. We can cut military spending. We can defer and eventually eliminate most of the entitlement programs. We can reduce interest payments, and as it is, we're going to be spending more and more on interest because we're borrowing more and more. We can make cuts across the board.
Okay, thank you, sir. Senator McCain.
I agree. We can cut right across the board, and we can cut the size of the budget of Congress to start with. I just have to go back a second. I won't pay a lot of attention to some of the things that Mr. Glassman said, but I'm proud of my service to our veterans. I received the highest award of every veterans organization in America, literally. I'm proud of my service to our veterans. But first of all, we could eliminate and give back to the taxpayers the stimulus package. That's hundreds of billions of dollars that still remain unspent, which Mr. Glassman supports. In fact, he supports a second stimulus. So we need to have a budget that goes back to 2008 spending, and that would eliminate some of the billions and billions of dollars that are necessary. We need to eliminate the earmarked pork barrel spending, which means corruption in Washington.
Okay, Senator McCain, your time is up. Thanks, Mr. Nolan.
Yeah, I have to be bemused by Rodney Glassman's idea that we can, quote, use the unspent stimulus money. There is no unspent stimulus money. There is no stimulus money at all. It's all funny money that was created out of thin air by the Federal Reserve System and lent to big banks so they could repair their balance sheets. The idea that there's this huge pile of hundreds of billions of dollars just sitting around and that they should be lent out or used for taxpayer relief. We have to end these so-called stimulus programs, which are simply bailouts for big banks and politically connected corporations.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.